Hello friends, my name is Dr. Huma Hassan and let's continue our live classes on NCERT Class 11 Sociology. So previously we did discuss about sociological imagination, sociological thinking. Now let's continue what is the difference between common sense and sociology. Now to understand that what is common sense, we need to understand also what is not common sense. It means that when we are evaluating our own assumptions, when we are dealing with our own thinking, when we are trying to know the reasons of our conclusion or inferences, that's when we are being critical. Okay, now common sense would reflect on those theories that is something has nothing to do with scientific rationalism. We are making just simple ways to figure out our social world on the basis of our experiences. So we are trying to create a society. We are making some norms, cultural values, folklores, so that we can navigate in this social world. But that is out of our commonsensical observation. So we know that common sense had been and it is even today an important tool to navigate in this society. Okay, so that is really very important. Okay, it is not at all that you can go about this world without having this common sense. Now what is sociological thinking? So we do have Peter Berger, which UPSC have asked on his theories on those topic, invitation to sociology. What makes sociology different? So it means that we are debunking what is not there or what is not given to us in society. So we are acting like a spy. So you would see that how in NCERT we do have this particular path where before explaining what is common sense and the difference between sociology, we do have Peter Berger name. Okay, so you can take on page number 6, the last line, that is the Peter Berger. Okay, so what Peter Berger is saying, Peter Berger has written a work. Okay, Peter Berger has written a work. That means you need to know the book also, because proper reference is very important. Invitation. So this is not working. Invitation to Sociology. And there he has I'm just speaking. So he has reflected on debunking motive. Debunking motive, how debunking motive would operate in our world when we are analyzing our experiences or events with rational endeavors. Okay, we are not only observing what is going on, we are thinking, critically examining that situation. So that's mean debunking motive. That's mean that we are seeing what is hidden to it. Okay, so Peter Berger makes an unusual but effective comparison to make the point. Okay, so you need to know why Peter Berger UPSC is writing in the first chapter, after Cyril Mills. So Peter Berger or Zygmunt Bauman, Emile Durkheim, these people have reflected that how you can conduct a sociological research, because that is really very important for all of us to know. Okay, that how sociology operates, then only you would be going to know about the basic concepts, the terms in sociology, what Western sociology is talking about, how Western sociologists are different from Indian sociologists. Okay, so there are a lot many paradigms which we have to understand. So Peter Berger in this regard is an influential sociologist who is talking about debunking motive. Invitation to Sociology में उन्होंने काफी critical questions भी पूछे हैं. Now let's see what NCERT is talking about. So I am reading Peter Berger's ka paragraph, because this is often UPSC aspirants do not read. It is on the page number 7, the first paragraph. Okay, why I am doing this? So that you people should be knowing that in sociology we have to have more thinkers. So it is just not about thinkers which is mentioned in your topic 4. So, in any political or military conflict, it is of advantage to capture the information used by the intelligence organs of the opposing side. But this is so only because good intelligence consists of information free of bias. So that means the important term here is bias. So when I said that when we are examining our social world, or if something happened in your life, you need to know that are you being biased because of some past experiences, or you are being rational. Let's just say you are working in an organization, you are a bureaucrat, let's just say you are an IS officer, and then you are working some under some ministries, and with your colleagues you have some you do have some ruckus, okay, and then when it's a time of reporting about the work profile of your subordinates or somebody who's involved in the same project. Now when you are reporting about his skills or about his performances or xyz point with respect to the same person whom you had conflict, now when you're reporting it, will you give honest opinion or reflection of your insights? For instance, if you are writing good about it, okay, in spite of the fact you know that you have some pinch of jealousy or aggression in your heart for that person, that means you are not being biased, because you do have personal opinion, you have some sort of influences on your thought process with respect to that person. But then because of your sociological training, as Peter Berger says, you will always going to assess your own thoughts. You will use value relevance. I am using a concept value relevance which is given to us by Max Weber. It is the same method which is coming out of Verestian. That means that you are understanding. Verestian is a German word. Okay, now you are analyzing your own feelings, whether you are right or wrong. You often have conflict with each other, okay, and then you are going to be trapped with your emotions. But at that point of time, Peter Berger is arguing in Invitation to Sociology, that book name, you need to have critical analysis. You need to have debunking motive within yourself. So you need to know, it is so very true, guys. It is so very true. Okay. I often encounter, like, in such situation where I may have aggression, where because I'm having some strong emotions, or some strong events must have happened with XYZ person. Now when I'm meeting that person, or if something happens, so I try to, like, that would happen, that my emotions will going to capture my mind. But then you need to take a pause. This is what Peter Berger is arguing. And then you need to talk on facts. And the moment you have started setting back yourself, that is what a mechanetic perspective. Okay, when you are researching, you would see respondents telling you lot many fake information. They might be making the stories, but you need to have participant observation. Participant observation refers to a process where we are delving into that event and examining lot many insights of that particular event. So now what is happening? You are trained to think sociologically. Now you will examine your own feelings, and that would help you to make or to give an honest opinion about others. So you are going to be non-biased. Okay, so that is the strategy, that is the training which we learn in the process of making sociological theory. So Peter Berger is arguing that how individual has to be different from commoners. Okay, they can't have commonsensical explanation to the social world. Okay, so here the point here is that you have to be free of biasness. Okay, so you need to, it is tough, it is tough. Okay, Peter Berger is also acknowledging that it is tough, but with good sociological training, with writing lot many papers, writing books on it, reading lot many, like, works in sociology, practicing, you will develop that scientific temper on your own. So Peter Berger is arguing that how sociologists has to be on scientific temper if they want to call themselves as sociologists. And then for that they need to debunk commonsensical knowledge. Okay, so here you would see that is what they are talking about. So if a spy does her reporting in terms of the ideology and ambitions, okay, so अगर एक स्पाई जो है अपनी रिपोर्टिंग ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ हिज ओन एक्सपीरियंस करता है तो वो रिपोर्टिंग नलीफाई हो जाएगी, वो रिपोर्टिंग ही सही नहीं रहेगी. ओके, so reports are useless not only to the enemy if the letter should capture them, but also to the spy's own side. So the sociologist is a spy. Okay, this is so very interesting. Okay, the sociologist is a spy. Okay, is a spy in very much the same way. Her job is to report as accurately he or she can about certain terrain. So this is what Berger is talking about. Peter Berger is talking about. Okay, so you have to act like a spy and you need to inform what is going on in that situation. Okay, so in this manner, what we are doing, we are reflecting on empiricism. We are reflecting on facts. So this is very important for all of us. So I would say you people can make a short note on Peter Berger and what they are talking about, what sociologist has to do. Okay, and then if you go here, does this mean that sociologist has no social responsibility to ask about the goal or study of the work? No, they have. So, you need to know what is sociological asking. Like the biologist whose biological knowledge can be employed to heal or kill. This does not mean the biologist is free of responsibility. So that's mean that sociologists also have ethical dimensions. Okay, so they do have objectives and they need to fulfill or they need to achieve that objectives by using quantitative and qualitative methods. Okay, so that is a part of research methods that we are going to read it later on. So sociology has from its beginning understood itself as a science. Unlike commonsensical observation, very important line, you should be taking it from NCERTs. Okay, this second paragraph. Unlike commonsensical observation or philosophical reflection or theological commentaries, sociology is bound by scientific canons of procedure. So very important paragraph. It means that the statements that the sociologist arrives at must be arrived at through the observation of certain rules. Okay, so that is why whensoever a sociologist is commenting on something or if they are making some judgment, it is not because of certain assumptions or like influences on their head, in their head. It is because of they must have arrived to that conclusion according to Peter Berger, because they must have followed certain rules. You can write it down from here. Certain rules of evidence. So they will always talk on facts. Okay, so that allow others to check on or to repeat, develop findings further. So that is why you often see that sociologists, what they do, they get the data, they generalize it, and they predict. So most of the time sociologists prediction towards social events or world often comes true. Okay, why? Because that is the very nature of a sociologist. What they are doing, Emile Durkheim have called sociologists as social physicians. Okay, so when a sociologists are observing things around them, they are talking on the facts, they are making inferences or conclusion on the facts. Okay, so what is happening? So because people are not viewing their society on the basis of facts. Okay, so they might think from a political angle or economical angle, from their business angle and so on. They might not talk about things or phenomena on the basis of empirical facts. And when it is not fact, then it means that it is influenced by their own emotions. However, sociologists are trained to talk on facts, but they have to deal in a world which is full of this thought process, or they are full of their own preconceived notions. So individuals or groups are always having their preconceived notions. So when sociologists are dealing with commoners in their life, when they are dealing with any social events, so they can look deeper into that event. Okay, that is why you would see that all the government officials, okay, and in various projects, social anthropologists, sociologists are being hired, so they can see what others can't see. Okay, so that is what you understand, that it is something which is very different. Okay, now the point here is which we need to see, that it is talking about how sociological knowledge is very much different from commonsensical knowledge. So I have made a notes on here. So you can say common sense knowledge based on our individualistic explanation. So I mean, I would just tell that once you know what is scientific understanding and scientific temper, don't waste your time in argument with fools and stupid people around you. Okay, because they would always going to win an argument with their own individualistic explanation. They might not be wrong. Okay, they might not be wrong. I'm not saying कि वो हमेशा गलत होंगे, but most probably their explanation would be based on individualistic explanation. Okay, on their feeling, on their experiences, that can't be rationalized. Okay, that can't be rationalized. So I would say that whensoever you are stuck in a situation, you need to understand that how there's a huge difference between commonsensical bodies and scientific bodies. Okay, so it's better whensoever you are reading this sociology, do not just read it for your civil service preparation, apply in your own life as well, because that would help you to deal with this difficult concepts, like having revision on your own. And when you are applying, so slowly and gradually you would learn to apply all the sociological theories to understand and examine social world, that eventually will help you in your paper too. Okay, so that is what I have just explained. Now commonsensical knowledge is acquired from a particular viewpoint, like somebody must have said, so you do have some favorite people. Okay, you do have some experiences, so you have started like making your opinion on that. So that is erroneous. Okay, so this knowledge is gained from our own experience of society, not reflecting and doesn't question its own origin, so they don't want to listen your points. Now whereas sociologist or sociological knowledge, it works on meaningful explanation, unsuspected connections of our action with our behavior, why I hold a specific view about particular behavior or social issues. It involves broader tradition of scientific investigations. Okay, so it means that whensoever, according to Peter Berger or Zygmunt Bauman or Emile Durkheim, Auguste Comte, so what is happening? We are Sociologists are using scientific reasons to have an argument. That is what class 11 sociology is telling us. Okay, so there has been a considerable debate between natural science and human sciences, between quantitative and qualitative research, that we are going to discuss in topic research methods. Okay, so what we have to just know about this, that we need to know how sociology and common sense is different. So I would ask you to read all this paragraph, sociology and common sense, which I have just explained to you via my PPT, and just read about this paragraph. Sociology thus breaks away. Sociology thus breaks away from traditional norms. Okay. So this is on page number 8. Both common sense observation and ideas, it does not always or even generally lead to spectacular results. Okay, so let's just see this example which is given to us in NCERT by let's just say explanation of poverty. Naturalistic people are poor because they are afraid of work, come from problematic families, or unable to budget properly, suffer from low intelligence and shiftlessness. Sociological contemporary poverty is caused by the structure of inequality in class society and is experienced by those who suffer from chronic irregularity of work and low wages. Okay, so here we are applying sociological explanation. So it is very important for us to know the difference between common sense and sociological thinking. Now, in coming lectures, I would be covering the entire chapter. I would say the most important chapter in NCERT is chapter 1. And you would see that almost on every subtopics of this particular chapter, we do have questions in Civil Services of Sociology UPSC syllabus. Okay. So sociology optional paper में हमारे पास इस topic पे काफी questions हैं. I hope you people are getting good insights of my quick reading on NCERTs. Keep making your notes. I would just tell you that you people should make notes on this. This is very particular. This is important paragraphs. Okay. So where you are writing on Peter Berger, where you are writing that how sociological knowledge is different from commonsensical knowledge. You can also use your own examples here. The example is given with respect to poverty. You can use your own examples. Thank you.